connect the dots.
Group facilitator now. Who do you do this with? Which organization?
I facilitate a men's group on Wednesday evenings at one of the shelters. I work for the department. Oh, should I say that? Can I say that? I work for a city agency. Work for the city agency that governs the shelter system. And so it's a mayoral initiative. The Fatherhood Initiative is a mayoral initiative, and he is wanting to figure out a way to help fathers become, some of the men in our facilities become better fathers. And so there is a curriculum that's developed around that, and so we were trained, and I co-facilitate that curriculum on Wednesday evenings.
How long was your training?
3 days.
And what stack of materials you get?
Oh, it's about, the curriculum is about that thick.
Wow.
Yeah. It's about 20 sessions.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's everything from self-esteem, relationships, how to handle anger, relationships on the job, female-male relationships, drug abuse, substance abuse, budgeting, all kinds of things, child support, finance.
Well, it sounds like a ton of material.
It's a ton of material.
So, I mean, one tactic might be to say, okay, I learned this stuff in my workshops. How would I divide up those materials into separate feasible essays that can be different? For example, budgeting's a bit different. You mentioned spousal relations, you mentioned drug abuse, you mentioned anger management, for example. Would those fit under one, or could you break those off into different essays?
I think that they would probably be different essays, but it doesn't mean that some of the other topics, right, there are some other topics that are interrelated and probably could fit into one essay.
Or, I mean, if you wanted to just briefly mention it, you don't have to go so in depth. For example, anger plays a role in alcohol abuse, for example. It might be separate. I mean, that might be one way to really break down the significant amount of information that you learn in those 3 days into kind of, start to categorize it. Though, I imagine, here are some ideas I see here, listening, openness, setting tone, etc., that might not necessarily have been taught you training, but that you developed through the process of engaging your clients.
Right, and this is not the first experience in facilitating a group. This is the first experience in facilitating a men's group, but a lot of these skills have been used and are used on a day-to-day basis as a client advocate, because that is my functional role on a daily basis.
So we might have client advocate, we might have facilitator of men's group, and then these other topics that you might branch out from these materials to learn. That might be one way to organize it. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Right. I guess when we started out with this map, and this was just something we pulled out today, and we started, and this was really good because it gave me a basis of just a thought process, just to begin to think about things and to see what it is.